All right. Good morning, Springfield. Welcome back to Chief Chat. You have myself, Jacob King from the Springfield Fire Rescue Division, and my colleague.
Good morning, Allison Elliott, Chief of Police.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us. February 2026. We're almost over, and people are like, "Oh, the year is going by so fast." But I said it's because we got the gas pedal down, headed to spring. We can get out of all this snow and cold weather.
Thankfully.
Yes. But what's also great is when we move into March is the grand opening ribbon cutting for fire station number 5. It is the third of our series of new fire stations that we've been able to build. Now, those stations aren't replacing, as in additional stations. They're just replacing old, outdated stations and realigning where we're going to place them throughout the city so we can enhance our response time to the whole community, especially as everyone knows, the city's footprint has changed since these fire stations were built 50, 60, 70 years ago. And so now we're realigning them so that we can maximize our response time to the entire community. So, as you can see with the graphic on your screen, right? So come out, see us March 4th at 1:30. We'll go through a ceremony, a ribbon cutting, and then we'll do a very, very traditional, dating way back to the beginning of time ceremony to, we would say, christen the station for our members celebrating the past, the current, and the future members of the division. They'll be running out of these stations. We put a lot of effort and energy into developing that this station has to work for us for 50 years. And that's very difficult to understand. What is fire trucks going to look like in 50 years?
Sure.
Because we've had a significant change in fire truck sizes and capabilities over the last 50 years now. So who knows what that's going to look like in 50 years? So we tried our best to plan for that so that the citizens got the best use of those dollars, right, for the years, so that we can continue to have a great service to the community and enhance some of our response times. I would say that nationally, our response times are well above several cities of our size and just in general areas, but the national standard would be 7 minutes from the time of call to arrival. And we are operating at 6 minutes and 15 seconds on average across the entire city. And so that's helping us, right? That's getting us patients to the hospital. That's getting us on scene for fire. So, seconds matter when it comes to this. And obviously it does in the police line of work as well. And so we like to stay focused on those seconds and continue to tick down our response times so we can get to you faster.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I think it's great just having the opportunity to be able to come to these new station ribbon cuttings and just seeing how it's kind of rooted in tradition in the fire service and what you do. It's a really nice tribute and really nice ceremony that you all put on. Really enjoyed having that opportunity. The other thing that's really cool about this opportunity is Box 27
Yes.
and where they're going to be. They've been incredible partners for us, and I know for you as well. But you may have seen them out on scenes with us, and they're there to assist us, and they're there to help our officers when they're out on long scenes or have situations that last for several hours. We've been able to call on them to be there to support us, and we are extremely grateful for what they do.
Yes, I know we couldn't find a more dedicated group of individuals that love this city,
That's right.
that love first responders, that they come out all hours of the day and night, no matter what the temperature is, to help support you and I,
Absolutely.
right, and our members. And now they support the entire county. And so they're able to support all of the county police agencies, the sheriff's office, and all the fire departments for those very large fires, or potentially when it's extreme heat, or as we've been living, extreme cold and snow. So they're a great partner for that. And now we'll be able to give them a dedicated home. And so it kind of goes along with our collaboration we've been doing with each of these stations. Collaboration really helps us maximize our capability, and because we can't do it all.
Right.
And so, Fire Station 8, for collaboration with Clark State and their fire academy. What better way for us to do recruiting is to have the students work and train right in the working firehouse with us. And so when they get ready to apply, we could, you know, bring them in as great qualified candidates.
Fantastic.
And then obviously Station 6, which we opened last year in the middle of the year. That was our collaboration with Springfield PD, right?
Yes.
We incorporated a police substation there, give them a space that they could do work in an area where they could just take a minute to relax. So,
Awesome.
if calls would allow, right?
Right.
So we'll get to that later. But anyways, we're excited to see you on March 4th at 1:30. So please come on out. The address is 50 North Thompson. Uh, for where that fire station is. So as you can see.
That's great.
Yep. But as we talked about the weather we're seeing going into spring, right? That takes us
Mhm.
right into some severe weather events. And
Yes.
severe weather. We saw some pretty significant thunderstorms last night. Channel 7 was talking about all the rotation they had. Luckily for us, it was all south of us. But we did get quite a bit of rain. And we know that severe weather is going to continue, right? And we're getting it right into that season. So we thought what would be great is to reiterate a way that we can communicate to you in emergencies. It's more than just the severe weather, but it's anytime we have a significant emergency where we need to communicate to the citizens that they need to take some type of action, right? Stay away from an area. This is where we would have you shelter in place or evacuate an area. And so, and now with Hyper Reach is our solution for that. It's managed by the Clark County EMA. And this also gives you emergency alerts for severe weather, right? And it's none of the watches, but it's all the warnings. So if we get a tornado warning and you are in the affected polygon area, they used to just do everything, right?
Mhm.
We'd see like all of Clark County is under a tornado warning. Well, I guess all the National Weather Service and all those other areas have been able to come up with a way to isolate it to smaller, more specific areas. And so that's why maybe a family member in Moorfield may know that get alerted of a tornado warning, and you're living in South Springfield and you didn't get anything. Like, what's going on?
Sure.
And so it's all about those polygons, and the system will work within the polygon that they develop to notify you of those warnings. Now, for us in an emergency, we establish what is that, what does the circle look like, right? So typically we do everything in a circle, right? For incident notifications, say if it is a shelter in place, everybody for a quarter mile, we'll draw a quarter mile circle and then it'll notify everybody. That's just in case maybe the wind changes or anything to that effect. So significantly different than emergency weather alerts, but definitely a way for us to notify citizens immediately. And it's easy to register, as you previously saw.
And then definitely with the spring coming, and we know that there's fluctuations in weather in the systems, different fronts coming through. I think this weekend is an example of that. We just are coming off some really nice weather, which grateful that we had that break.
Yes.
Obviously, with the thunderstorms last night, and noticing today there's some high winds that we're experiencing, and just paying attention to that, because over the weekend it looks like things are going to cool back down, and there's potential for some precipitation again.
Yeah.
So just be mindful when you're out traveling on the roadway. Pay attention to debris that may have come from these high winds. There's potential, with these high winds with power lines down. Pay attention to that. Obviously, if there are lines down, don't go near them. Make sure you call to make us aware, so we can make sure that the local power companies are aware, cable companies are aware if you do see lines down. And then we also have the potential, especially with spring coming and high rain, precipitation for flooding in the streets, quick
Yes.
flooding in our streets. And there's several roadways that you may have noticed that happening before. So be very mindful of that when you're trying to pass through if we get a heavy rainfall.
Yeah, definitely. And I think one of the key things that we could, I believe Chris Moore, our service director, right, has his own podcast, right?
Mhm.
Maybe we can have him talk about, when you start to see that flooding occurring, that flash flooding, and the storm drains aren't draining right away, that
Yes.
he could bring up how can people talk to him?
Yep.
How do you report it?
Sure.
And so maybe we'll get him to cover that on his At Your Service, I think is the name of his
Yes.
podcast. So that way we can cover the whole loop.
Absolutely.
All right. So don't forget to sign up for that HyperReach. You can list multiple locations as well for that notification. Um, and I think our next big thing to discuss is the Citizens Police Academy.
Yes. So applications are open currently, and you'll see up here on the screen the opportunity to learn a little bit more about our division. So we've had several folks go through this process, and it's a great opportunity just to learn not only just about our division, but how we also collaborate, excuse me, with other agencies and with the courts. And so just getting to learn a little bit more, I think it's nice. The timing of it right now, some folks have been going through the Citizen Government Academy
Mhm.
and very interested in that. I think been a great opportunity. But it's a little more unique for our agency is that it breaks things down a little bit further. Excuse me, it breaks things down a little bit further, and you have the opportunity to kind of break down each unit of our agency and some of the things that we do.
So, with that, so is a citizen going to be able to have a better understanding of maybe their interactions with law enforcement and what all the other areas of the police department is?
Yeah, we'll have different speakers come in throughout the weeks and kind of share what we do as an agency, how we respond to calls for service, why we kind of do some of the things that we do. And I think it's been a great opportunity for us to have feedback, and folks have shared, their reasons for wanting to participate and
Yeah.
wanting to come and be a part of the Citizens Police Academy. And they've also shared some things that their input from previous classes that they feel would be helpful for us to add. So we've actually changed a lot of things through those surveys and that feedback we've gotten from previous class members.
Oh, that's awesome. And I think too, it right opens people's knowledge, right? To be able to
Right.
see that it's more than just those cars out on the street and the
Right.
police officers, showing up for calls for service or doing traffic stops or crashes. There's several other divisions and parts of the police division that go into keeping our community safe. And so,
Absolutely.
and it's not easy to sit here and describe them all because it's quite in depth. And what a great opportunity to sign up to the Citizens Police Academy
Yeah.
and be able to get that inside track of how
Absolutely.
everything works.
And it's a great opportunity with each session when we present, we have our presenters there to have raw and honest conversation. Learning, like you said, there's some things that you may not know why we do some of the things that we do. And we get into those conversations and very open discussions because we want to learn from you as well as our community, how we can better serve you.
Yeah. Will you cover anything about, is anything covered in the academy about when a significant crime happens and you don't talk about it?
There have been discussions surrounding that, yeah,
Yeah.
and, I actually have the opportunity to present one of the first sessions, so, I kinda give a background of the agency, but I also share time for discussion, and a lot of folks have used that opportunity to ask some of those things, and we've had really good dialogue around topics like that, just to have a better understanding.
Yeah, definitely. Because I think, it's not about keeping information away from people. It's about protecting the product that you have to produce and what you're trying to accomplish. And if you have questions like that and just
Yes.
really want to know the best spot, especially right, unfettered access to the chief of the police division during this opportunity, as well as many of the members of the police division, and a couple of their rock stars kind of lead this as well for you. Yeah.
I'm grateful. We have a lot of folks who are very dedicated to helping educate the community and who are willing to hear that feedback. So I really appreciate that.
Yeah. All right. Well, speaking about learning about how everything works, um, how much work do you have? Talking about call stats, like where are you guys at?
Yeah, we know that we stay busy as a community, and especially in public safety, our public safety, personnel are very busy and with calls for service. Just checking this morning, I know we're going to speak a little bit about your calls for service
Yep.
as well, Chief. But currently, with us at the Springfield PD, as of earlier this morning, we were up to 70 to 143 calls.
Wow.
So, we are definitely keeping on pace with having another busy year. Our last year's calls for service were actually up from the previous year in 2024, up about 6,000 more. We ended the year with a total of 56,821 calls for 2025, and again, that has increased. And part of that increase, and we had the opportunity to share that at Commission one of the commission meetings last year, is that our officers, now that we have been able to increase our staffing and our employees, we have been able to be more proactive. A lot of times we are responding to calls when they come in to dispatch, but we have had the opportunity now to be more proactive, making traffic stops, checking businesses, checking different locations and quality of life issues that are being called into us.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome, and happy to hear. With your staffing being up, are you currently looking to host another test or looking for candidates for the police division?
We are actually currently in a process for interviews. So once that has completed, yes, we will be looking to offer an additional test. So definitely be looking out for that. We also have a QR code and a sign in or a waiting list essentially that you can put yourself on if you're interested in becoming a police officer here for the city of Springfield. You can go to the city website, and on our police division page, you're able to pull that up, put your
Yeah.
name and contact information on there. And when the next civil service exam opens up or national testing opportunity, you can be notified.
Oh yeah, excellent. Yeah, and what's great as well is we have the same thing, right? As in, you can go to the city of Springfield, Ohio.gov, and go over to the fire division, and you can register as well for those civil service exams if you're looking to be in the fire division. But currently, we're at full staffing, as
That's
with
great.
10 members are currently in our recruit academy right now, which those 10 will then, once they get onto the street, will bring our staffing back up to full levels. And so we're pretty excited about that.
That's great. Yeah.
Yes, and they're progressing very well. We'll see them probably coming out to the fire stations, the company to assist at the beginning of May. So our members, along with Clark State College, is really putting in a lot of time, energy, and effort into them, building them up to be, top quality members supporting our community. And so, and it's very nice to see that we don't have we're very particular um, in our selection criteria, that we're looking for the best of the best, because I think that's what our community deserves, and our teammates, right?
That's
I
right.
also deserve to have equal stellar members with them as well.
Right. We
Yeah,
want people who are vested and invested in our community and want to make Springfield their community.
yeah, definitely. Okay. Well, we talked about your stats and got off a little bit there, sidetracked to some recruitment. So always looking for great people. But for on the fire side, right, as of this morning, we've been at 2,466 calls for service, which is pretty significant. Now we've managed about 85 to 86% of those calls are EMS calls. So those are medical emergencies where, whatever that issue may be, we're responding to either give them an assessment or transport them to one of the two community hospitals. We've had a pretty significant year so far. It's only been 51 days,
Mhm.
right? And we've had multiple house fires throughout the city, not in one specific area. Some of them have been fairly large, and some of them have been pretty small too. But one of the things that we definitely want to clear the air on is you need a smoke detector, right? That's your early notification while you're sleeping to just wake you up to let you know there's a problem. We provide them. We'll give them to you. We'll install them. So just go to the fire division site on the city website, and you can register and send in a query for a request for that smoke detector, and we'll contact you to set up a date and time to install it. And so that is going to be the number one thing to save your life. is that, and we're offering it for free. We have great partnerships with some of our businesses as well as the American Red Cross that helps provide those for us. Um, but we're trucking right along. With our calls for service, last year we ended up with 19,600 calls for service, and it's definitely some wear and tear there. That's a lot of times our medic units are driving in and around town, and so we're very thankful for our service division, our mechanics at the garage. For us is Daniel, our fire truck mechanic, and yeah, he does an excellent job keeping everything rolling. So.
Absolutely. Yeah. Those folks stay very busy up there. That's for sure. I know public safety just alone, with the amount of hours that we're putting on these vehicles on the roadway, they are putting a lot of work in, and we really appreciate it because they are working hard to get a quick turnaround for us so we have vehicles on the street.
Yeah, definitely. And so we couldn't do it without them for
That's
sure.
right.
It's kind of neat to see the whole team effort here in the city, like in the city government, how much we need this element from the service division for our facilities, for our vehicles, to HR helping us with this recruitment, and just finance department, the city manager's office, looking at how can we do our budgeting, how can we best support the community. It's just so integral to, I mean, like Trent right here in our communications division, making this happen,
That's
right?
right. That's right. We
So
couldn't do it without him.
yeah, if it looks great, it's his Trent.
That's right.
So I just want to say thank you again. And so that's pretty much what we want to let everybody know today. But you got any last comments?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
And speaking of team effort, Chief, you hit the nail on the head with that. You know, feel very grateful to work for a city and a community that recognizes that it's not about I doing something, and it's always about we and
definitely.
how we have to be collaborative in our approach. I had the opportunity yesterday, had the honor yesterday to have some conversation and spend some time with the Springfield Wildcats ladies basketball team,
Yeah,
and really an enriching opportunity for me. Very humbling experience for me. They have a great team, and all their coaching staff. They have done an incredible job in just pouring into these ladies and preparing them for their future. And we talked a lot about resilience and some of
mhm,
the challenges that you face. And I want to give a huge shout out to them. They have a big tournament game coming up here on Monday. They play Kettering Fairmont, and I know they're looking at this as not a challenge but an opportunity. And
definitely.
when we get into tournament time, especially when we start talking about March Madness, season records don't matter, right? And it's
Yeah,
0-0 and all hands on deck. So really excited for them. I want to give them a shout out and wish them the best of luck for Monday. But really just getting the opportunity to learn from them and hear how much they care about each other as teammates and how much they want to represent the Springfield Wildcats with pride. And really enjoyed my experience with them. So I really appreciate that time I had with them yesterday.
yeah, and I'm sure you were able to give him some pointers because I believe there's a pretty significant background there for you in basketball.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about there. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that. I think I learned a lot more, that's for sure, from them, and just it was great to share, that experience. While I did have the opportunity, it was for the opportunity to play basketball many years ago now. I carried those lessons with me, and that's something we shared and we talked about yesterday. Just those lessons that you're learning, playing sports together, playing as a
Definitely.
team, working together as a team that carries you into your future and how you prepare and also how you become resilient, especially when you face challenges.
Yeah, definitely. You know, uh, Everything we do in the fire division is a team sport,
That's
right?
right. That's
And
right.
so those are building blocks through high school, um, those foundational elements there of working as a team, leaning on key components from each member to help bring us completely forward and
Right.
have success. So all this success to those Lady Wildcats as they hit the court there
That's
on
right.
Monday.
Kettering Fairmont better be ready because I know
Yeah,
they're preparing. They're ready to go.
that's
So,
good. Do you know where they're playing?
yeah, they play at Fairborn High School and it's at 6 p.m. So I definitely encourage you to go to support our Lady Wildcats.
All right.
And again, Chief, like you said, we say this a lot and we talk about the team aspect, but public safety is a shared responsibility. We need our community to help us as we navigate our challenges as agencies and as a
Mhm.
community. So again, we always want to encourage folks, if you see something, say something.
Definitely.
Don't hesitate to let us know.
Definitely. Yeah. All right. Well, that's what we have for you here on this edition of Chief Chat. If you have any comments or areas you'd like for us to hit, please go to the city website and you can reach out to either the police division in their comments section to submit a comment or in the fire division. And we'll keep those lists and we'll try to hit those topics for you, dig deep so we can give you the best we can. So. Thank you, and have a great weekend as we move into this and be weather aware.
Thank you.